Welcome to Influential Sports and another edition of Around the NFL. And I'm recording this on Sunday, but this will be uploaded on Monday. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. But I'm going to be doing a recap of the conference championship games that took place. First, the AFC Championship started with the one-seeded Ravens taking on the three-seeded Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs won the toss and surprisingly decided to defer. Most teams this playoffs when they decided to receive because it's the playoffs now, so score first, put your opponent in a tough situation. But the Chiefs, they've had a top defense all season. They forced the Ravens to go 3-and-out on their first possession. Then the Chiefs were able to get the ball on their opening drive, got a touchdown by Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce had a great game today. He passed Jerry Rice for most receptions all time in the playoffs, and he also tied him with the most 100-yard receiving games with 8 in the playoff history. But then, towards the end of the first quarter, Lamar, he starts to get going, him and Zay Flowers, rookie receiver for the Ravens, he showed out. He came towards the end of the game, he had a few crucial mistakes, but for the most part, he had a good game. And he actually had a 30-yard receiving touchdown to tie it 7-7. Then we go into the second quarter, and it looks like this is going to be a good game as it's 7-7. And then kills the Chiefs, and then they all get going. Pacheco, he has a powerful run to get inside the end zone. Pacheco, he, like people say, he runs like he's angry. Then the Chiefs go up 14-7. The Ravens get it back. Lamar, he has a pass tip and catches it, and it counts he runs up to get it, and that counts as a 13-yard gain. So Lamar, he passed the ball, he ran the ball, and he even caught one of his own passes. But the Chiefs was in the first half up 17-7. It wasn't a great half for Baltimore. They couldn't get much going on offense. The Chiefs defense really stepped up today and had a great showing. Then the second half starts in the third quarter. The Chiefs go 3-and-out. They're only able to gain 7 yards on their first possession. Then the Ravens get it back, and they go 3-and-out. Lamar nearly throws an interception, but Zay Flowers was able to break it up. So, because he didn't have a great chance of catching it, but he also didn't allow an interception to happen. But there was no scoring in the third quarter of this game. And then the fourth quarter starts, and then Zay Flowers, he catches it. He's going to the end zone, but he fumbles at the goal line, and it's called back for a touchback. And that was one of the mistakes, one of the few mistakes Zay Flowers had in this game. It was also a moment in the early fourth or late third where Zay Flowers, it was right before that, Zay Flowers had a big catch, but he got called for a taunting call, which taunting is a stupid penalty. These guys are grown men, professional players. I feel like a taunting call, no matter who it is just bad. That the players should be able to show emotion. But he had the taunting call, then he fumbled at the goal line. But the Chiefs still aren't scoring points. They get the ball back, and the Ravens, they're playing good defense for the most part too. Then the Ravens get it back, and Lamar decides to throw into triple coverage in the end zone. And that gets picked off. But then Kansas City gets the ball back, goes 3-and-out. So the Ravens have another chance, and it's about 5 minutes left. And they're able to get the ball downfield a bit. They weren't able to get into the end zone, but Justin Tucker, the greatest kicker of all time, makes a clutch field goal to cut the lead to 10-17. Now it's about 2:34 left, and the Ravens have 2 timeouts. in a 2-minute warning. And so the Ravens get 2 stops and are able to call both timeouts. It's 3rd and 9. And all the Ravens need is one more stop, then it'll go into the 2-minute warning, and the Chiefs will have to punt the ball away and they'll get it back. But unfortunately, what happens, the middle of the field isn't covered. So Marquez Valdez-Scantling has like a 30-yard catch that seals the deal. Ravens with no timeouts, he goes into the 2-minute warning, and the Chiefs were able to get the win. As Patrick Mahomes is now 14-3 in his playoff career. Lamar falls to 2-4. The Chiefs won this game 17-10 and are going to back-to-back Super Bowls. Their fourth one in their fourth Super Bowl appearance in 5 years. So congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. Better luck next year to the Ravens. But it was a great defensive battle. It was a solid game. It was really entertaining from start to finish. And Lamar, he didn't have a great game today, but he had a really good season. Just unfortunate he had to lose in the championship game. But he could be back next year. It's not a guarantee, but he could be back. Now let's get into the NFC Championship game. Now this one was really entertaining. And so we get the 1-seeded 49ers versus the 3-seeded Lions. And in the first half, the Lions, they come. So the 49ers won the toss and they deferred just like the Chiefs did, which interesting decision when it's playoff time. But the Lions, they got out to an early lead. They got out to a 14-0 lead with two touchdowns from their running backs, one from Jameson Williams, then from David Montgomery. The CMC would get into the end zone in the second quarter to make it 14-7. And then the Lions, they don't do too much after that. They had to punt. So the 49ers get the ball back, but Brock Purdy throws an interception, and the yardage gets saved. And it was a decent return, but they didn't get the return yardage because C.J. Gardner-Johnson had a legal block in the back on Deebo Samuel, and it's a bit of history with them too. Then Jamar Gibbs, another running back for the Lions, got a touchdown to put them up 21-7. So in the first half, the Lions had 3 running backs with a touchdown. And then to end the first half, the Lions led 24-7. They're in complete control. By this point, they're up 17. So all they really have to do was close it out, try to run the clock down. But the 49ers in the second half turned on a different gear. Last week against the Packers, they were down 10, came back and won that game by a few points. This week, they're down 17 against the Lions, who are a great team, but that pass defense isn't great. The 49ers scored a field goal on the opening drive to make it 24-10, and now they're only down 2 touchdowns. And 2 touchdowns isn't a lot in football. And then the Lions, they start to struggle. They can't get much going. Brandon Ayuk makes a few big plays. He gets rewarded with a touchdown. Then it's 24-17. Then Jamar Gibbs goes up the middle, and it looks like there was confusion on the play, but he ended up fumbling, and the 49ers took advantage of that, and they would tie the game at 24-24 as the 49ers outscored the Lions 17-0 in the third quarter. And going into the fourth quarter, we have a game now. It's a tie game. The 49ers had the ball again, moving it downfield. They were able to get a field goal to put them up 27-24. Jameson Williams had a great catch. And the Lions tried 2 flea flickers in this game. Both were incomplete passes and not successful. And then the Lions took a gamble on 4th and 3, and Jared Goff couldn't get it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. What was interesting with Amon-Ra St. Brown had 5 catches in the first half, and he was great, but he wasn't targeted once in the third quarter, and he didn't get targeted in the fourth quarter until there was like 8 minutes left. So that definitely was a big confusion because he's the number one receiver on the team. He was their best player on offense, so he definitely should have been targeted more than he was in the second half. But the 49ers, they extended the lead. Elijah Mitchell got a touchdown, and now they've scored 27 unanswered points, and they go up 34-24. But the Lions were able to get a touchdown to make it 34-31. Yes, they have a chance, but it's not much time left. It's only 59 seconds, and they had to try the onside kick. And they tried it, but the onside kick was unsuccessful. Now, I forgot who it was on the Lions, but on the onside kick, the ball has to go 10 yards. It only went like 9 or 8, and somebody on the Lions touched it, and I think that affected them not being able to successfully get it because it was high in the air. So I feel like if it went if he doesn't touch it and let it go to 10 yards, they have a better chance of recovering the onside kick. But George Kittle got on top of it, and that was the game. He took a few knees, and the 49ers completed the largest comeback in championship game history as the 49ers outscored the Lions 27-7 as the Lions blew a 17-point lead. And this is the 49ers' second Super Bowl appearance in 5 years. And February 11th, the Chiefs and 49ers have a rematch from 2020 where the 49ers were up 10 in 2020 and blew that game, losing to the Chiefs. But the 49ers get a rematch. Patrick Mahomes still on the other side. And I'm going to make my prediction here right now. I know this is going to be a great game between the 49ers and Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs, they were the 3 seed. They had one home game this playoffs. They beat Tua, beat Josh Allen, and beat Lamar, who was on top of his game all season. And Brock Purdy, who's been having a good year. I think the Chiefs can beat Brock Purdy and the 49ers too. But these last 2 weeks, the 49ers, they had 2 come from behind wins, which is impressive. But as the 1 seed, you don't want to be behind in games because it shows that you're beatable. But they were able to manage as they clearly out-talented the Packers and Lions. But with Patrick Mahomes on that other side, and you can never doubt Patrick Mahomes. He's 14-3 in his playoff career. His only losses were 2 against Tom Brady and 1 against Joe Burrow. And he's 2-1 in the Super Bowl. I know to never doubt Patrick Mahomes. I seen it last year when he played my Eagles. Seen it when he came back against the 49ers. The only other time he was beat is when Joe Burrow was on top of his game, and he played the GOAT quarterback in Tom Brady. But Patrick Mahomes rarely loses. This 49ers team is great. I think the 49ers have more talent. They got Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, even Kyle Juszczyk, who he's a fullback, so it doesn't get as much attention. But he had a solid game today. He played real well. So this will be very competitive and very close. But I don't think Brock Purdy has been good this playoffs, but he hasn't been amazing. I will say he's been good, and I'm not the biggest fan of Brock Purdy, but he has been good this playoffs. But I think it comes down to the better quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the league, and Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the league. These playoffs, he's been he's been great these playoffs. So congratulations to both the 49ers and Chiefs for making it all the way to the Super Bowl. It's it's always difficult, especially a team like the Chiefs. Just they're not used to being lower than the 1 or 2 seed. Then they got 2 road wins to get here. There's no doubt in Mahomes. The Packers, I mean, not the 49ers faced adversity against the Packers and against the Lions. And they got here. They had a good season overall. But I think the Chiefs win this because Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes is the best offensive duo in the league. And that is my prediction for the Super Bowl. Make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel.